Well, we've been here for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now, really getting a feel for the land and the area. Been traveling around, going to local places to eat and coffee shops. But give you a quick run through. Got the anchor system charging. That guy's super useful. It's a 2400 watt inverter. And I've just got it charging on these panels, even though I could charge it from the excess from the pink bus or perhaps from the blue bus if I needed to. So we're on 7 acres here. Say we, it's my buddy Daniel, he's hanging out with me, so this is my place, but he's gonna be with me for a season. And we're doing some cleanup. We got here and all this was overgrown. I should be able to have some B-roll of that. But we got out with a mower and a weed eater and have done quite a bit of work. In fact, Daniel did a lot of weed eating, hours clearing up the tree line, and it makes such a huge difference in making the place feel open and welcoming, I suppose. Now, because I'm from Florida, I'm not familiar with the trees that are here. We've got a lot of trash trees, I think, in Florida. So a lot of our oak trees, like the laurel oaks, by the time they get to something like this size, in Florida, they become a liability. They start gathering water up at the top and start falling over, especially when we get a heavy rain. So it's very different than here in Tennessee, where these trees are healthy and large, and they can grow to they can grow very large and get quite old without rotting out from the inside like the trees I'm familiar with. So it's really cool to get a feel for the ecology around here and understanding the trees. Even though I am no arborist, it's interesting to me and I'm still learning. So here we've got some red maples. They're beautiful. I love them. They just go off during the fall because I was here during the fall. We've also got some beech trees. Those are super common and not super desirable, I think, but I have a few of those. They're pretty big. We've got some a tulip variation here, and I've been trying to identify these because there's a particular area I'm trying to clean up, and I think I've got a lot of the tulip trees. And so because they're plentiful, I have a bunch of them. They're not a wood that's really useful for building or anything. I'm happy with taking a lot of those out. However, the red oaks, the white oaks, and there's one other type, Chinopa, oak. I'm gonna leave as many of those as possible. They're just beautiful and majestic, super tall and healthy, not like at risk for falling over a lot. So all those are gonna stay as best I can. Up front in the open area, I have a couple of dogwoods, which we all love those. Those are beautiful when they bloom. There's also 2 or 3 of these trees that are called mimosas, and they are an invasive species, or maybe not, like, I guess they're invasive, but they're not from here. They're from Asia, I believe. And they're interesting. They have this Dr. Seuss-like looking bloom, and they're pretty cool. I'm gonna leave that here unless it gets real messy, because I've heard they do get real messy, but for now it's doing just fine. They grow rapidly, and it's right here on the edge of my open field. As I said, all of this was overgrown. I mean, to chest high, most of it. And so we got Daniel going on the weed eater, and he ate most of this back. Took some of the brush and started a fire, gathering up the small stuff and dead branches all around and doing our best to get this cleaned up. Over here we've got some mountain laurel. That's that dark green, also known as rhododendron, however that's pronounced. And there's plenty of that out here. Apparently it's toxic to burn, so we gotta figure that out. But I'm gonna be getting into here and hacking that out, because this whole area is kind of where I'm planning on developing a bit, and probably the first structure or building is gonna go in here. So I'm gonna try to get all that live grass out there, which was overgrown with weeds, so it wasn't, flourishing as grass, and start moving everything this way a bit. Clear out those, take out a few of these trees that are common, call them trash trees, but we just don't need them. There's plenty of them here. They can create some space for us. And like I said, I'm gonna try to keep as many trees as possible, especially the more beautiful ones like the maples and the red oaks, white oaks, anything fancy like that. But this stuff here, these are super common. I think we got beeches, we got the tulip. So some of it will have to go, but we're gonna leave some trees in, and then hopefully get a building in this area, which is somewhat in the middle of the property. Really, that's the beginning of it. But if I could get a building here, then I could power everything from the solar over there, store the power here, and then disperse everywhere I need to go from the central location, which would also include bathroom, shower, and common area, outdoor kitchen. Probably have an indoor kitchen as well, but definitely storage for all my material and things I use for doing solar, and of course for me building, because right now I'm kind of working out of an enclosed trailer, and once a structure is here, I don't need that enclosed trailer anymore, and we can just keep moving along. A lot of these little guys, as long as they are in that basic tree category, I'll be knocking those out. And man, we've got stones, rocks everywhere. So that's also some tedious work, but the more of that I can get out and gather around, I just kind of put them into little piles for now. Then we'll use them later for trails, bordering trails through the woods. Well, let's go to the top of the property. It's not the smoothest ride. Just the neighbors, they're building a second home over there, I think for their kids. Or their kids are building on their land right over there. But there's a nice cabin, log cabin right there. And our border's basically right along the tree line. So this trail goes up to the top of my land, and there's all these trees in the middle with really just some basic underbrush that could be trimmed up, and then you could walk through there in shorts and it's not a big deal. But needs some work. Obviously a lot of this is overgrown, but a few days to the weed whacker and maybe a mower or something take care of that just fine. And this is another one of those. I believe that's an oak. And another oak. We do have a few pine trees up here, and those I don't mind removing if I have to, but if they're healthy and strong, I see no need. And here it opens up at the top of the land. The back edge there, I don't know, in 20, 30 yards past the clearing, somewhere along there goes right into the National Forest, Cherokee National Forest. But big open spot here. I would guess maybe it's close to a half acre that's open. But you can clear out a bit more along the edges, and I would guess that at some point I will build a house back here, maybe an A-frame, something cool like that. Then I can kind of keep the tiny homes and everything, all the busy stuff towards the front area, the front part of the property, and have a private spot back here for myself. So, drops off a little bit. And there's an old structure that used to be there. That's like a chimney for it. So, there it is. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will try to share more interesting content as I get building this place. But thanks for watching.